Israeli bombs are hitting refugee camps in Gaza, killing 4 children, as Israel claims it's ready to significantly expand the assault. In all, the death toll in the bombardment has risen to at least 50 Palestinians since Wednesday. Hamas has been retaliating against the attacks with rocket fire, killing 3 Israelis over the same period. Its most recent strikes hit the south of Israel, also targeted Tel Aviv. Let's speak to RT's Paula Sleer, who is there in Tel Aviv for us. Good to see you, Paula. Civilian casualties in Gaza mounting, with Israel now hitting refugee camps. Is Israel sticking to its line that it's only targeting military sites?
Well, what we have seen is a fresh barrage of airstrikes by the Israeli Air Force this morning over Gaza City. And we know of at least 2 separate incidents where different refugee camps were targeted. As you well know, these camps are full of women and children, which means that it's inevitable that the casualty count among civilians only increases. We know of at least 4 children who have been killed in overnight strikes. There were some 15 people injured, while an earlier strike also hit the media building in Gaza City, where some 6 journalists have been injured. Now, we are receiving reports that the Israeli army has taken control of Hamas radio and is using it to release warning messages to the people of Gaza. But certainly the IDF is falling far short of its statement that it is only targeting assassinations and very much trying not to hit civilians, because we do see the civilian count continue to increase. Now, the Arab League held an emergency meeting on Saturday in Cairo, and there the Arab League Secretary General, Nabil al-Arabi, said that Israel was committing war crimes and needed to be held responsible. He also called on all Arab states to revisit and cancel any kind of peace treaties that they have with the Jewish state. There are a number of countries that have come forward in trying to mediate between the 2 sides. We have heard from the Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi that he believes that a ceasefire could be on the cards. Turkey has also put forward a proposal that would see Turkey, Egypt, the United States and Russia broker spontaneous peace plans, but we're not hearing the same kind of commitment from either side on the ground. Both the Israelis as well as Hamas say that they're only prepared to lay down arms if the other side does it as well, and we're not hearing assurances from either side that this will happen. Certainly what we're hearing from Hamas is that it will stop firing rockets on Israel if the Jewish state lifts the blockade that it has placed on Gaza for several years now and stops with these assassinations.
Well, you talk about the increase in civilian casualties and assassinations as well, Paula. Of course, as you and I both know, Prime Minister Netanyahu has already said that Israel is very ready to expand the operation. Does it look like a ground assault is about to be launched? I know there are tens of thousands of troops that have been amassing along the Gaza border.
Well, at his weekly cabinet meeting on Sunday morning, the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu did say that he was ready to significantly expand, those were his words, the Israeli operation in Gaza. In Tel Aviv, immediately following this, there were sirens held, and there were at least 2 rockets that were intercepted by the Iron Dome missile defense system. This has sent out alarming warning bells, particularly to people living further in the center and towards the north of the country, that Hamas and other militants are firing now long-range Iranian-made missiles. And I think that this kind of mood and this kind of fear and panic that is now infiltrating the population of Israel much further than just the south, where rockets have been rained down on, is starting to create an anxiety and a pressure on the leadership of Israel to launch some kind of ground offensive. There was a barrage of rockets that it did hit the south of Israel this morning. We know that 1 person has been seriously injured, but many of the rockets are still falling far short of their target. There has been movement along the Israel-Gaza border with the Israeli tanks and armored personnel vehicles. This does raise the question of whether or not a ground operation is imminent. The roads around Gaza have also all been sealed, and the IDF has confirmed that it is attacking from the sea, plus airstrikes, plus drones. So you certainly have an intensified Israeli operation against Gaza.
Well, Paula, you talk about the Israeli forces are shutting down the roads around Gaza. According to the IDF on Twitter just now, the IDF saying we have coordinated the transfer of 124 trucks of goods and gas to Gaza today, including medical supplies and dairy products. At the same time, continued airstrikes, more rocket fire, and the roads are sealed. Not really sure how to read into that, but I'll be checking in with you throughout the day. RT's Paula Sleer in Tel Aviv. Thank you.